My name is Maddy, for those of you who do not know me. I am a poet for those of you who do not know me. I am a poet and a nonfiction essayist and a prose writer. I also dabble in music editorial writing. I like to interview artists and talk about their work. And I also do a little movie and TV news blog writing as well. But this right here, poetry, is my absolute passion, and so I'm just super grateful and excited to get to take up some space and share some pieces with you guys. So yeah, if you're taking the time out of your day or night or whenever you're watching this to listen to me, thank you. You are appreciated and seen, and it means the absolute world to me. So thank you for being here. And without further ado, let's get started. This first piece I have is called The History of Breakdowns. I never really knew what Sylvia Plath and Virginia Woolf meant when they said, "I'm having a breakdown." If I'm reading Plath poems on a Friday night, you know that the lone wolf inside of me has already begun howling at the moon. Other poems may whisper. Mine will shout. My mind has led me down some dark days, but the mourning of myself seems constant. I have skipped my own funeral so many times, an immortal sensation brought upon by mortality itself. I stay in my head. You would never recognize my reality, the number of fatalities I have brought upon myself. 10-gauge shotgun, no heat, no water. Slung it right at my past. Assassinate my past ways. Can't have no more of my blessings be delayed. A breakdown for me is more of an amputation, a transfusion. I think that's why Plath and Woolf are drawn to the elements like ancient gods. Something just snaps, but not a nerve or wire like I had imagined. No, it is more like a light switch. My logical mind and the woman I see in my self-portrait are no longer visible. The strokes of my regrets grow thicker. The lines of communication are dropped like letters. My body flickers on like a haunted candle. My womanhood is a car alarm, incessantly sounding off. I want to speak my truth with my tears, scribble every lie I have ever been told in my shade of red. Bloody Mary, and even the ones with the less cuts visible gush in private. Everyone bleeds at night. Leaves hidden hope left under the pillowcase like a baby tooth. Some of us still believing in pixie dust and refuge. Others can no longer believe that faith is alive when evil keeps on living. The wisdom is what gets removed. The youth in us falls away on its own. The rage settling itself in my bones like carbonation, a loud hiss at first and then nothing but stillness. I know rage is a silent beast. It does not always roar and devour. So many people giving me the silent treatment that the only time I ever feel heard is when I put pen to paper. My mind becomes as mushed and numbed as squash after days spent with no connection. Everything about me scared me. But still, on a day where my presence was the only one known in the house, how often I am with my mind alone. Still, on days where my love for those who no longer love me becomes unbearable, I cannot connect to myself through my mind. I don't want to memorize its wicked spells. So I strip myself naked, gently stroking my brown skin, tracing over my tattoos. I have not been touched or held or kissed in so long that I don't feel real to myself. Don't feel alive. But living. Yes, accompanied by withering pages of how my life will go or is going. A woman who is confined to her racing mind, only to sit down in an empty house, spending hours studying life, but instead you write down the life you wish you had lived. In another dimension, Plath and Woolf are deeply in love with one another. A kiss for every glance, a longing with every movement. The moon slow dancing with the devil. Maybe the breakdown lies in the plummet. Things about me will inevitably fall off, like my youth or my love. Shards of the most authentic me are still in a coma for a bit, but they remember the brutal awakening when everything broke down. The one thing that will never rest are the things that can never be broken. Yeah, so that was the first piece. Let's get into this last poem really quick, and it is untitled. So, yeah. The objectification of the woman began with the birth of inanimate objects themselves. The possibility of conception is served to us with the dusting of confectioner's sugar. Whose dream was this if not mine? Glass figurines, glazed diamonds, freshwater pearls, dainty things that shine too bright for the male gaze. Boys were given gunpowder and pocket knives instead of dolls to play with and dress up. They were going to be out there in the world one day, swirling and moving, and they knew it too. While we remain idle and frozen, the command of eternal sunshine is thrust upon us like religion, smiles forced to be sprawled across the face like a white lace tabletop. To be a woman, too, is to be forced into some form of submission or another. A dropping to the knees, a placemat here, a setting there. Must we be forced into a state of immortal waiting? The candlestick that burns for hours upon the empty bedside table, to be a woman, too, requires a sort of ritual. Amongst the circle of fire, campfire songs are no longer sung. We instead hear each other's own screams. We watch and fathom at the way we have mastered the art of silence. So much so that the pain of another woman is deafening. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So, again, thank you for being here, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my blog. My Instagram is Brown Butterfly, BURWN. My blog is linked in the bio. Check it out if you want, if you like what you see. And until then, take care, guys. Be safe. And thank you again.